Hey guys, welcome back to Saber Outdoors. My name, of course, is Mark Alexander, your wonderful host. But today, I'm tired. I'm tired, guys. And I've decided I want to take a nap. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to use a backpacking hammock and a big hammock. And I've got straps. I'm going to show you how to use those because I'm gonna be transparent like always. I've never used straps before, so I already think this will wait on until we actually do the thing. So we'll get to that later. So let's see about these straps. Let's open them up. These were $10 at Walmart. That hammock back there was $10 at Walmart, but I found it on sale because I ain't trying to buy the whole world. Sale is my kind of thing. So let's get her out here. Whoop, almost dropped half of it. Okay, we got some instructions. We'll probably read those someday. We'll pick those up. Don't want to litter on their nice turf. We're out at our local college, and we've got these big, I mean, look at that. Look how heavy that S-hook is. Let me tell you, that is going to hold. I'm hopeful that somehow or another I don't get put on the ground today. So we got two straps. Don't need that one for right now. So let's take the rubber band off this one and see just how big it is. How big are these babies? Are they really big? This is a big rubber band. It goes plumb around my big old wrist. So we're gonna go, because why wouldn't you? And we're gonna look this over. So it's obvious this is the part that goes around the tree or whatever. And then they have these loops periodically. So if your tree is this big around, that first loop will fit it. If it's this big around, that first loop will fit it. Now on the opposite, if you have a small tree, you can start on this other end and, you know, start right there or go to the next one or go to the next one. It's very, very versatile. I like that. Now, of course, these big loops don't use these hooks. I'm gonna pitch that hook down with the rest of the stuff. I'm gonna hook that one right there. So for the part that goes on the tree, you would take your loop open and put this through, and then it'll tighten up on your tree and have all your loops handy. And then you would take one of these loops and you would hook so you would hook this in, and then you hook this to your hammock, whatever way that your hammock hooks on. So here at this particular college, they have actually an area specifically for hammocking. So we're gonna try our luck, see if we can get this system to work on these square posts. I believe you're really meant to hook directly onto the little eyes that's on these, but we may end up putting it around just to be sure that it's going to be there. And I'll put it above that eye, that way that I can be sure that I'm not going to go, you know, put it on there and immediately go and fall to the ground. I don't want to fall today, but I might, because hammocks. But let me get you up here. Let me move you over so you can see right here is our eye. Now, for me, that's a little bit tall. So and they're all like that. I'm gonna try it that high up, but we may end up doing something a little bit different. But that's part of the adventure of doing this kind of thing. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook just like that onto this. I've just got I put that S hook into my strap and hooked it right there, because that appears to be how this is made to run. And now I'm going to do the same on the other side, and I'll probably do that off camera. So, uno momento. All right, guys, so this hammock has the instructions with it, and the entire hammock fits down into this little small package. This is actually a hiking hammock, but look, in comparison with my fist, it's not much bigger than my fist. So that's a really small hammock. Actually, this hammock's rated for 300 pounds, and I'm just over that. So you might see me on the ground, maybe. If you do, it's gonna make great footage. But the whole thing, you just inside out this bag. And then you throw it out, and it just poofs out into this big, nice hammock. Now let's see what kind of ends these have. Oh, okay. So these have a really unique end. So they've got a little loop there and a piece right there. So you hook around your thing, you run your piece through the loop, and then it won't come back through because it's so wide. So we're gonna try that and see if it puts us on the ground. I'll see in a minute. I'm gonna have to kind of play with it to see how high or low it is, and I'll be right back with you. We're gonna try this first loop and see if that is enough. If it is, that's great. If it's not, well, we'll do something else. But it's just a slit through just like that. That's what it looks like afterwards. And that's a good solid connection. That's what's called a soft, I believe it's a soft hitch, or a soft, it's soft. That's what it is. But we're gonna hook the other side. We're gonna hook it to the same loop. So this is the first loop on our line. So we're gonna hook it to the same one on the other side and see if that is good enough to suit. Okay guys, so that's not gonna work. So what I'm gonna do, right now, I have this hook and then this long part all the way down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reverse that. So I'm gonna put the hook on the other end, and then I'll have all my loops coming down and be able to figure out where it is that I need to put this hammock. And that's the nice thing about these straps. They're very versatile. Wind. It's a problem with hammocks, but it's really not nice out today. So I might be able to catch some Z's because I want to take a nap. We're gonna go get our hammock, fix our things. Be right back. All right guys, so we've fixed one side, let's fix the other side. All right, so I can already see that coming down the second one's still too tight, so we're gonna go down to the third loop. Okay, so we've got our hammock finally figured out. Now, a thing about hammocks, after you've got them tied, they're like a kite. They want to catch the wind. So be mindful of that when you're setting up. Don't try and do this on a windy day and be like, oh, it's going to be so easy. No, it's going to do that. It's going to do that. So it took me a minute to figure out just where to put this, but the way that I do like the angle, as far as like how I would like it to sit, is think about, you know, face palming yourself, like, ah. And when you're like, why did you do that with your hand? That's about the angle you want. So, like, I don't know if you can see that or not. So, like, see, the angle's perfect. Like, ah, why did you do that? I have my fingertips about even with my head, and that's about the right angle for this. So we're gonna see if we can get in this thing and not kill ourselves trying to get out. So let me make sure this shot's nice and crisp. Okay, so let me move you all a little closer so that you all can see and hear and all the things. So whenever you're getting into a hammock, you don't just fall into it. What I always do, I stretch the hammock out all the way. I get the thing under and all the way to my knees with this on my back. So It ends up being like this. And this one sits pretty low, but I'm pretty comfortable. Now this is the first time for this hammock, so it's and for these straps, as a matter of fact. So it's a little bit loose. So probably the first time you want to use this thing, you might take and go use it and understand you're probably going to have to refit it, reset up everything. But man, this is pretty comfortable. I'm comfortable. I'm able to swing in this thing. If I pulled it up just a little more, I could, no, it didn't work. If I pulled some more out from under my butt, I could lay back in it. Now I'm gonna kick my shoes off. Now I'm a mite close to the ground, but you can see I can get in this thing and I am comfortable. Now, when you're doing this kind of thing, you have to keep in mind where the sun's at, if you're not undercover, of course. So instead of being where I'm facing the sun, I'm gonna face away from the sun. And I always set crossways in these. That way I'm setting reasonably flat, but I have plenty of room for just me. You know, this isn't a double nested job. And you know, I'm comfortable. If I wanted to take my hat, undo it all the way, kind of put it over my eyes, kind of lazy like, and snooze. Oh, this is really nice and comfortable. But guys, sometime or another, you're gonna want to get out of this thing. So when you're getting out of it, there's two ways that I like to do it. Now, of course, this is so low to the ground, I can just put my feet down. And actually, it's stretched so much that I'm on the ground now. So, yeah, it's gonna stretch some. So, it's so close to the ground that I can actually just roll out of it. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna put it one more up, and I'm gonna get back in it and I'll show you the other way that I get in and out of it. Okay, so I've got it up in those second hooks again, and I'm gonna get back in it just the same way. I'm gonna take my hammock, I'm gonna kind of set it over me, I'm gonna get it under my butt really good, and I'm gonna sit down in it just like before. And this is actually relatively comfortable just to sit in, but you can see I've got plenty of room. I can lay down, and this is how I would prefer to get out. I just stand up. Now the other way, if you're a bit off the ground, is I will actually swing my legs back and forth until I'm at a really good like swing back, and I will just push my legs out and stand up there. Now another way, really gently sitting in this. Another way, if you are like, let me kick my shoes off. If you're like in this thing, like in it, is you can actually roll yourself to one side and then just stand up on one foot. And that works just fine. You saw it, smooth. Didn't have any issues. But guys, I'm going to relax for a while. And when I come back, I'm gonna go show you how to put this I'm gonna show you how to put this or another kind up on a tree. So don't go away. All right guys, so we are in a new location with a new, bigger hammock. This is the hammock that I prefer when I am going to do hiking, camping, whatever. And if you want to see me go hammock camping, comments, that's what they're for. So let me show you why I like this better. So it's just the same as the other one. The whole hammock is inside, but So are the straps. This hammock is big enough that the straps are already in the thing with the hammock. So we'll just undo the hammock. And this one is larger because it's supposed to be a 2-person hammock, but it's rated for 500 pounds. And I feel like that is safe for me because I'm over 300 pounds. In the hammock you just saw, it's rated for under my weight and I was okay in it, but that was the first time I'd ever been in it, and you saw it was sinking with me slowly. And before I left, while I was doing it at first, I was touching the ground. So guys, with this hammock, I put snaps on it, so that way, let me find what I do with them. They're in my pocket. That's why I couldn't find them. I'm looking all over the ground and they're in my pocket. So that way, when I am working with these metal clips that come with it, I'm not hooking into my fibers, and eventually you will fray those just a little bit. Instead, I'm hooking directly onto this, and it can sway and swing all it wants to, and it won't hurt either end. And when I'm done, unhook and I'm ready to go. That's a little thing that I always do for hammocks if they have a system like this where it's just a loop. But guys, I'm gonna bring you over to our spot, and I'm gonna actually give you a wide shot and show you just how big this spot is. So let me give you that wide shot right quick. So this is the wide shot. I'm gonna go pace it out and then I'll be right back to talk to you about it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 big steps between my 2 trees. So that's, if a big step's 3 feet, and that's probably more than 3 feet. So we're probably thinking roughly 13 to 16 feet. So when you're selecting your trees for this kind of thing, always get a good sized tree. If it's not at least as big as your thigh, that's not big enough. So this is a good tree. This tree is easily bigger than my thigh, and it's also, as you can see from that shot, it's alive. It's alive, guys. Don't hook to dead trees. There's a reason they call them widow makers. It's not because it ends well. If you are sitting there and you know 300 pounds of fat boy on the end of a rope pulling on a dead tree over and over again as I'm swinging, if it falls on me. And there have been a lot of people hurt that way. But let me grab a strap, be right back. So when you're doing this kind of thing, you take the end with your hook on it. You know, you can swing that around, and I always swing it around the tree. If it's a big tree, this is how you can help yourself out. But when I'm setting this up, I always try and set it up level with my eyes. So on me, that's about 5 feet tall. But you run it through and you do that, and you just tighten it up against the tree. Now, if you need to tighten it more, you can do one of 2 things. You can just tighten this up good and then go around, and that'll be tight. And you can see I can pull on that all I want to. It's not going to go anywhere. Or instead, you can loosen your loop a little bit, and it's just like our camping setup. You come back around and you can go back through your thing and then work it around. And it takes a minute to work it around, but you can work it around and then it's tight as can be. It's just however you need to do it, because this is a game of give and take. I think that this will be okay with just one wrap around. So I'm going to let that loose, and I'm going to get it back up to where I want it, which again is about eye level with me. So to put that into feet, say about 5.5 feet tall. Now, like I said, I'm gonna take these hooks, and all I do is just snap them in. Boom, done. I don't have to do like that other where it has that soft hitch. I don't have to thread it through. I just hook it and I'm ready to go to my next tree. I'm gonna go over to the next tree. I'm gonna take you with me. I'm gonna take this with me. And that should end up being pretty dang close. I probably won't have to wrap it over and over again, but I'm gonna throw it around just like I did the other time. Tighten it up some and get it about eye level. There. Now that's eye level with me. Pick up my piece, strap it in, I'm ready to go. Now, this is a bigger hammock, and I like it bigger. So I always, like I say, put it underneath my butt and then just sit down. Make sure there's plenty of cover over you and you can just sit down in it. And where this is a much larger hammock, I am super comfortable in this. And I'm in the woods. I don't have to worry about where the sun's at. It could be anywhere it wants to be. But I feel like I have given you a pretty decent amount of information. You can see my hammock is reasonably flat. You can see that I'm pretty comfortable. And this is one of those deals where I can't touch the ground, so I just stand up. Now the danger is if you run your feet underneath of you and then you go face first. But after you've done it a couple times, you'll not do that. So we've reached a point where you're ready to leave. So how are we going to take this down? Well, we just do everything in reverse. So let me give you a little bit better angle. So we just go over, we unhook this side, hold your hammock. Don't let go of it. Otherwise, if it's windy, it'll be like it was over at college and it just is going to go flying. But undo your other side. Again, hold your hammock. I usually put mine over my shoulder. Grab it down your straps. I'm gonna go grab the other one and take you with me. Grab our strap. And we'll put that, and the strap is the first thing that I put in. So roll the strap up, get it good and tight, get to your bag, and just put it in. And you saw I didn't use no special technique. I just rolled it around my hand, and when it got done, I slipped my hand out, pulled it tight, crushed it tight. We've got our hammock bag right here. So what I always do, I make sure that's good and straight, and then I just kind of run my hand through until I get to the either end, which is actually inside of it. So I run through until I get to either end, eventually, and I get both ends together, and then I just start rolling, just like if you were gonna roll a bag, but I roll it kind of like it's in a small ball. I just roll that up. And as I'm rolling, you see it's kind of poofed out. I just squeeze the air out as I'm rolling. And then you get the bag up here, and I've rolled just a smidge far. You get the bag up here, and you just roll it in. It's as easy as that. Get all the little extra stuffed in, and you're ready to go for your next time. And that whole package is in there. Straps are in the bottom, and you're ready to go. I love using this kind of bag. The other bag has its place if I were hiking or needed something ultralight. It's a great option. This is my favorite option though. So with that, I think that's all there is to this video. So I'm just going to go through the usual YouTube things. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Please hit that bell notification and subscribe. I'm going to say that twice. It helps me so much. It costs you nothing. And with that said, we'll see you somewhere in the woods or on the water.